Collective consciousness. The ripple effect of shared thought. The concept of collective consciousness has long been a subject of philosophical, sociological, and psychological inquiry. It represents the shared beliefs, values, and knowledge that bind individuals within a society or culture. This chapter delves into the ways in which collective consciousness influences societal norms, cultural paradigms, and media narratives, while also critiquing controversial theories like the 100th monkey effect. Additionally, it examines the power of grassroots movements as real-world manifestations of collective intent, illustrating how unified thought can drive substantial change. The foundation of collective consciousness. The term collective consciousness was popularized by sociologist Emile Durkheim, who argued that societies function through a shared set of values and moral understandings. This collective agreement forms the foundation of societal norms, which dictate acceptable behavior, customs, and traditions. As individuals internalize these norms, they become mechanisms of social cohesion, reinforcing shared thought patterns across generations. While collective consciousness fosters unity, it can also stifle individual expression when rigid paradigms dominate societal thought. Historical examples such as the spread of religious doctrines, colonial rule, and caste systems demonstrate how collective beliefs can both unify and oppress. Understanding the mechanisms of collective thought allows for a nuanced view of how societal norms are established and transformed. Cultural paradigms and the shaping of reality. Cultural paradigms emerge from collective consciousness, influencing perceptions of reality, ethics, and identity. They dictate everything from gender roles to economic models, subtly shaping human behavior and decision-making. For instance, in capitalist societies, the pursuit of wealth is often deemed virtuous, whereas in collectivist cultures, communal well-being takes precedence over individual success. Throughout history, shifts in cultural paradigms have led to revolutions in thought and practice. The Renaissance, the Enlightenment, and the Civil Rights Movement all exemplify how new collective ideas challenge entrenched norms. The rise of feminism, LGBTQ+ rights, and environmentalism further underscores the evolving nature of shared thought, demonstrating how awareness can drive societal transformation. Media influence and mass consciousness. Media serves as a powerful conduit for shaping collective consciousness. Through television, social media, news outlets, and entertainment, media narratives influence public perception and behavior. Governments, corporations, and ideological groups utilize media to disseminate messages that reinforce or challenge existing norms. For example, propaganda campaigns throughout history have demonstrated the media's ability to manipulate public opinion, from wartime morale-boosting efforts to political smear campaigns. On the other hand, media has also facilitated social change, as seen in the role of television during the civil rights movement and the use of social media in the Arab Spring. The rapid dissemination of information in the digital age accelerates the formation of collective thought but also increases susceptibility to misinformation. The echo chamber effect, where individuals consume information that aligns with their pre-existing beliefs, can reinforce divisive ideologies, making critical thinking essential in navigating media influence. Critiquing the 100th monkey effect. One of the most debated ideas regarding collective consciousness is the 100th monkey effect, a hypothesis suggesting that a learned behavior can spontaneously spread within a species once a critical mass of individuals adopts it. While the story, originating from primate studies in Japan, has been widely cited in discussions about morphic resonance and the transmission of ideas, it has faced significant scientific scrutiny. Critics argue that the original research was misrepresented, with no empirical evidence supporting the claim that behaviors spread telepathically. Instead, the phenomenon observed was likely due to direct learning and environmental factors rather than an unexplained quantum connection. This critique highlights the importance of discernment in evaluating claims about collective consciousness, ensuring that assertions are supported by empirical evidence rather than anecdotal interpretations. Grassroots movements, the power of collective intent. While the 100th monkey effect may be questionable, real-world examples of collective intent driving change are abundant. Grassroots movements, built on shared beliefs and common goals, demonstrate how unity of thought can manifest in tangible outcomes. Movements such as Gandhi's nonviolent resistance, the civil rights movement, and modern climate activism illustrate the power of collective action. When individuals unite around a cause, their combined efforts create momentum that influences policies, societal norms, and global consciousness. Social media has further amplified grassroots efforts, allowing decentralized activism to challenge established power structures. Hashtag movements like #MeToo and #BlackLivesMatter have mobilized millions, leading to policy changes, corporate accountability, and shifts in public discourse. These movements validate the idea that collective thought, when organized and intentional, can drive real-world transformation. The quantum connection, a bridge between thought and reality? Theories of quantum physics have also been invoked in discussions about collective consciousness. Concepts such as quantum entanglement and the observer effect suggest that consciousness may have a more profound role in shaping reality than previously understood. While speculative, these ideas align with philosophical traditions that propose a deep interconnectedness between human thought and the fabric of existence. Though mainstream science remains cautious about linking quantum mechanics with consciousness, the idea that thought influences reality is a foundational principle in various spiritual and philosophical traditions. Whether through meditation, focused intention, or mass prayer, many cultures believe in the power of collective energy to bring about change. While scientific validation remains elusive, the growing interest in this field underscores humanity's enduring curiosity about the unseen forces that shape our world. Harnessing collective consciousness for a better future. Understanding collective consciousness empowers individuals to engage with society more intentionally. By recognizing the mechanisms through which thought spreads, people can challenge harmful narratives, advocate for progressive change, and cultivate awareness that transcends cultural and ideological divides. Practical applications of this awareness include fostering critical thinking, promoting media literacy, and participating in conscious activism. Educational reforms that emphasize emotional intelligence, open discourse, and ethical reasoning can further strengthen collective consciousness in positive ways. Ultimately, collective consciousness is both a force of stability and transformation. It reflects the ever-evolving nature of human societies, offering both the comfort of shared tradition and the potential for revolutionary change. By harnessing the power of collective thought with intention and discernment, individuals and communities can create ripples that shape the future in profound and meaningful ways. The brain's reality filter. Neuroscience of subjective experience. Introduction. The human brain is a remarkable organ that processes an overwhelming amount of information each second. To make sense of this information, the brain employs a series of filters that determine what is relevant and what can be ignored. This filtering process is influenced by various neural mechanisms, including the reticular activating system, RAS, and neuroplasticity. These systems shape our subjective experience of reality, demonstrating that perception is not a direct reflection of the world but rather a constructed interpretation influenced by our past experiences, beliefs, and cognitive focus. The reticular activating system, RAS. The reticular activating system, RAS, is a network of neurons located in the brainstem that plays a crucial role in regulating attention, wakefulness, and sensory information processing. Acting as the brain's gatekeeper, the RAS determines which stimuli are brought into conscious awareness and which are filtered out. Functions of the RAS. Attention regulation. The RAS selectively amplifies important stimuli while suppressing irrelevant background noise. For instance, in a noisy environment, it allows an individual to focus on a single conversation while tuning out other distractions, the cocktail party effect. Wakefulness and sleep. The RAS is integral to the sleep-wake cycle, ensuring alertness during waking hours and facilitating the transition to sleep when necessary. Motivational relevance. The system prioritizes information relevant to personal goals and experiences. If an individual is focused on a particular topic, such as learning a new language, the RAS will highlight words and phrases related to that language in everyday encounters. Neuroplasticity, the brain's adaptability. Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections in response to learning, experience, and injury. This adaptability is a fundamental aspect of cognitive and emotional development, allowing individuals to reshape their neural pathways through intentional thought and practice. Mechanisms of neuroplasticity. Hebbian learning. The principle that neurons that wire together explains how repeated activation of neural circuits strengthens connections, making certain patterns of thought and behavior more automatic over time. Synaptic pruning. The brain refines its neural network by eliminating unused connections while strengthening frequently activated ones, optimizing cognitive efficiency. Experience-dependent plasticity. Learning new skills, engaging in novel experiences, and even changing habitual thought patterns can lead to structural and functional changes in the brain. Case studies, thought reshaping neural pathways. One of the most compelling demonstrations of neuroplasticity is found in the brains of London taxi drivers. A study conducted by McGuire et al., 2000, revealed that the hippocampi of London taxi drivers, responsible for spatial navigation and memory, were significantly larger than those of non-taxi drivers. This structural change resulted from the extensive training required to memorize the complex layout of London streets, known as the knowledge. Additional case studies. Meditation and the prefrontal cortex. Research on long-term meditators has shown increased gray matter density in the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for attention regulation, decision-making, and emotional control. Stroke recovery and neural rewiring. Stroke patients often experience impaired motor function, yet with intensive rehabilitation, the brain can reroute functions to undamaged areas, enabling recovery. Bilingualism and cognitive flexibility. Studies indicate that individuals who speak multiple languages exhibit increased density in the left inferior parietal cortex, enhancing executive function and problem-solving skills. The implications of neuroplasticity for personal growth. Understanding neuroplasticity and the RAS provides insight into how individuals can take control of their cognitive processes. By consciously directing attention and repeatedly engaging in positive thought patterns, individuals can reshape their neural networks to foster resilience, creativity, and mental clarity. Practical applications. Mindfulness and meditation. Engaging in mindfulness practices strengthens attentional control and reduces stress. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Replacing negative thought patterns with constructive ones rewires the brain for emotional well-being. Deliberate practice, whether learning a new skill or overcoming limiting beliefs, repeated exposure and effort lead to lasting neural adaptations. Conclusion. The reticular activating system and neuroplasticity illustrate the brain's dynamic nature in shaping subjective reality. By understanding these mechanisms, individuals can harness the power of intentional thought and experience to transform their cognitive landscapes, proving that the brain is not a static entity but a continuously evolving structure capable of remarkable adaptation. Get your copy now on Amazon and start living quantum.